What's up, you guys? My name is Mahdi. This is my guest, Ram.
Bro, get it right.
Co-host?
Thank you.
Co-host Ramsey.
I made it.
I know that's right.
I signed the contract. I got picked up.
What is going on? What do you think of me doing an episode in like ASMR?
You talking about like this? Is this what you want to do?
I love this show.
We should do the whole show like
And it makes my heart go pitter patter, pitter patter.
Your heart doesn't go pitter patter, pitter patter.
You don't think so?
No.
Your heart doesn't go pitter patter?
You don't have a heart.
No, I do.
You are. You got the biggest heart of people.
I'm nice.
You're the nicest.
Sometimes.
Always.
How are you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. Good to see you. I'm acting like I haven't seen you in a week.
We've been talking all week.
All week.
Why?
It has been wild.
Feedback's been nuts.
Stop looking at the camera like you want attention.
No, it's not. I'm honestly looking at.
Look how it's focusing on me, though.
Oh, I can't stand you. This is a day in the life of Matthew, by the way.
My mom said stop cussing.
Oh, I'm glad you said that.
Well, my mother said it.
My dad said it. My mother said it.
Okay. She said if you keep cussing, she's not going to watch the show.
I'll be honest. I apologize for the amount I cuss. It was a passionate topic. That's hilarious.
I had your back, though.
I appreciate it. It's not where we want to take it. But we do want to take it to the feedback we got.
Amazing.
It
was amazing.
Listen, I've done a lot of things. This was so far beyond what I genuinely expected. The stories of people that have struggled with addiction, the positive reinforcement I got of people telling me to tell my story, how proud they were of me, and how much they loved me.
Standing behind you.
Listen, I would have done this sooner if I knew that would have been the response from the
It was
people
wild,
around us.
Ramsey.
Yeah.
Well, so we started this show with we started the show with that intention.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what we wanted to convey.
I agree.
And we wanted to tell stories that people typically would not tell. I knew it would be good.
I didn't think it would be that.
I never imagined people would react the way they reacted.
Like, my phone hasn't stopped blowing up. It's been a week.
Till this day.
It's been nonstop. I know Matthew's was the same. We've been sharing all you guys' comments and talking about them, but
it has. It's been
I didn't share names with the ones I sent you. Just
no.
Out of, so you know what I mean.
Likewise,
just, to make people comfortable. But we do want you guys that no matter what happens, like if there's ever an episode that you feel strongly or passionate about,
reach out,
message us,
reach out.
Give us your feedback. Tell us what you think. Tell us your experiences with. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about careers. We're going to talk about
everything.
Anything you're passionate about. Reach out. Tell us what you think.
Absolutely,
because it's
absolutely
because
it's welcomed.
Yeah.
And it helps us make sure that what we're doing is what we set out to do. Right. So we set out with an intention. We set out with the intention of
what they won't say
about talking things people don't typically talk about.
Things you talk about at home or in your family room or with your close friends that typically wouldn't be said publicly. And I feel like we both, one, care enough and two, want to put it out there enough.
Betterment.
Yeah, betterment. For our community, for the world, for our friends,
for everyone.
Lives, for each other.
For everyone.
You're not better for the first episode or first couple episodes?
I'm sorry?
Are you not a better person after putting...
honestly...
I feel like a better person.
Honestly, we're going to get to mental health check,
Thanks.
But I am at like 9-10.
I'm riding a high right now.
It just not because of, so someone might say that this was because of notoriety or whatever it might be. I give zero about what people see of me.
I agree.
Or what they think of me. But did I convey what I intended on conveying? I did.
Yes.
And that put me on such a level because
everyone talked about how well
we've been discussing the show for a year.
I agree.
And for us to come in and execute a show in the first episode and people react the way they did, my emotions were so high in a positive.
Absolutely.
Because I was like, I like I said, I imagined it being good, never imagined it being great.
I agree. And like I said, the emotional response to me was the standard. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like what we thought was great.
Right.
Seeing people genuinely get emotional, personal, and
vulnerable
and react to what we were discussing, said like, "Hey, you guys are doing something positive."
Right.
So let's stay on that. Let's do it, and let's
just
continue doing what we do.
Absolutely, I love it. I love it.
Mental health check. Let's go. Let's
get
into the episode.
I still have that weird sound that you didn't like last time.
I loved it. This one I loved.
You did?
Yeah, this one. It was the murder mystery. That.
Ooh, so creepy.
Where were you going to use that? Please tell me the
I'm
situation.
sure I'll find a place for it. I'll find a place for it today.
Mental health check. How you doing this week?
How are you doing this week?
All right, I'll start. Physically, missed a couple days at the gym, but I've been doing a lot more cardio. I want to try to tighten up for the summer. Physically, I'm good. No aches, no pains. I feel like I've got it down. Mentally, hearing people's stories and wanting to do right by people and finally understanding what content creators, the pressure they kind of deal with to do right by, what they want to, the point they want to get across.
By the people.
Yeah, I finally understand where that pressure and that burden comes from. We discussed it over the last episode, the last couple, what we did. But even with that pressure, I'm at like a 9.5.
Okay.
Because it was so worth it.
It was.
So I didn't care.
It was.
Emotionally, 10. Again, I'd say the same thing.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure involved in doing right by people and doing what we're doing. But again, 10. Spiritually 10, emotionally 10. Family's healthy, I'm healthy, you're healthy.
Yeah.
Let's keep it rolling. I'm on a high.
I'm with you. I am with you. Honestly, the whole week I've been at a 9-10. The whole week, no matter what happened during the week, because there was some lashback.
Yep.
There was some.
It was.
No matter what happened this week, this is probably the happiest I have felt in a very long time, and I can't explain that feeling because I haven't felt it in years.
Yeah.
That I'm accomplishing something that's worth it.
Absolutely.
Right? I'm not trying to sound holy.
No.
Or like I am doing God's work on earth. But it felt good.
I don't think anyone can judge where your level of success stands. Right? And I'm not talking about monetarily. Right? We're still in comparison super small to what we've done.
Yeah.
But I think the feeling we've gotten, like we were talking about earlier, the feedback we've gotten has made it like this is a success.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going. People want to discuss. Let's keep pushing the conversation forward. Let's push other conversations forward. Yeah. And let's help people.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. So you're a 10?
Emotionally,
9, 10?
Physically, I missed a couple days too, but because of whatever else we had going on, I am a 9-10 all around. All around. Family's healthy. I'm healthy. You're healthy.
I am.
Dina's healthy.
Shout out Dina Schumann, the director.
Can we stop using that label?
I don't. What is she?
I don't know.
You're not the director?
I am.
Key grip.
Didn't you use the... You didn't use the clapper?
I did.
You're the director.
Oh, yeah.
So the... I'm gonna set this one out.
Appreciate what she's doing.
Who's not appreciative?
No, you don't appreciate her.
I'm grateful.
I'm grateful too. We need to get you a mic, and we need to get you a camera on the next episode.
We said that.
I would love to do
right
that.
before we started shooting. Yeah, absolutely. But I do want to thank you. You started off as a guest.
I did.
And we have always vibed on such a good level.
Yeah.
That I knew that... I didn't know. But I after the first episode, I said...
This is something.
I needed a co-host.
Yeah. One, I feel like...
I'm getting into the ASMR. Oh, no. Mindset.
And suddenly I quit. And suddenly I'm out.
Is this too much for you?
This is so much for me.
So I said, Ramsey and I have always been on pretty much the same wavelength mentally.
I agree.
So not only were you a phenomenal co-host, first episode.
We could call the first one, I guess, a tryout, if you will. But I'll be honest.
Well, it wasn't a trial.
I knew that because we'd been talking about the show for a long time.
Yeah.
And as soon as you said, I want you to come on, I knew what was going to happen because it happens every time we get together, we talk, we chill. So I knew that was going to be the natural progression.
Yeah.
But I wanted you to thrive, to succeed in whatever you did.
Yeah.
And you know that about me.
And you pushed me.
Yeah,
you pushed me for the first year that I was discussing the show. It was almost, I would say, on a weekly, if not bi-weekly conversation where you said, where are we at?
I mean, because I'm that type where I get so caught up in research and R&D and reading and looking and thinking that sometimes you're never going to get it perfect.
Right.
We're going to stumble. We're going to make mistakes. Let's start those mistakes.
Right. And honestly, I love you for that. I love you for being on my ass.
Are we getting into the topic? Do you want me to say it back?
Do you want to say it back?
I love you back, bro. I know. This is new, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll discuss this in the episode, but this is new for me. It's telling people I love them.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely dive into that.
I mean, I'm sure they see my laptop. That you can see my laptop. That is at the end. I actually notate that you are not very good vocalizer.
Okay, have I gotten better?
You have.
Because
this
I've been
past
wanting
year.
to.
Because I actually said it to you. So I said, I think we love the way we see our parents love.
Hold on. Before we jump into that,
Yeah.
what's the topic? Today's episode is
the 5 love languages
5 love languages
and the power of I love you.
and the power of.
Why did I stutter?
I didn't hear it.
I slurred my words.
Sorry.
So let me move my laptop closer. So where was I? Because you interrupted me.
The love that your parents didn't show or something.
Not
What you
my
strive for.
parents.
Yeah, no.
Our parents.
Yes.
So people's parents. We exhibit the love our parents show us,
Absolutely.
or the lack thereof. We exhibit the love they give us, what they show us. We try to emulate what they give us, or what they show us, and then we yearn sometimes for the things they didn't.
They didn't.
Right.
Absolutely. And so,
go ahead.
so like for me, I grew up in a household that, my dad wasn't the I love you type. 31 years, he's never told me he loves me. 30 plus years of marriage with my mom. She told me that he'd never told her he loves her.
Really?
And so I know that some people, that's like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
There's never been a day where I don't know I've felt my dad's utmost love for me and my mom and my family.
But he's not a vocalizer.
He doesn't believe in that. And
Oh, really?
yeah, it's zero.
Okay.
Like if I have to tell you, I'm doing something wrong.
Really?
And to this day, I'm telling you, I've never had to hear
So he's an actions person.
I've never had to hear it from him.
Okay.
He's shown me every day.
Okay.
So I respect it.
Interesting. I would say I heard it from both parents.
Yeah.
I heard I love you, and I saw actions from both parents. I think I heard it less from my father.
Granted, the generational gap, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Heard it more from my mother.
Yeah.
My mother's very, very, she's high emotions.
Fair.
So I love you is a key to her.
Yeah.
Telling you and actions-wise.
For sure.
With my father, it's more action-based. And then his words of I love you come when they're supposed to.
You get it when you need it.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. So we took the test.
Which were, yeah.
Oh, do you want to get into that now or later? Because I feel
At the end, I would say, right?
Only because we just, if like what we discussed.
What we need.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it then. So you are...
Why am I nervous?
Well, here's the thing. So the 5 love languages are acts of service, quality time, receiving gifts, words of affirmation, physical touch.
Yes. If you've never read this book, by the way, everyone should. It's the most helpful book you'll ever have in your life, in a relationship, friendship, family, in general. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then we all love differently.
Absolutely.
And I thought, actually, no, I think I see where your results came in. So we both took a quiz.
We took the quiz.
To discover what our love language is. And Ramsey, you're at 37% acts of service.
Show me you love me.
Actions speak louder than words.
Show me you love me. Show me the money, brother. I don't care if you say it. And so the one thing I want to say about this, right, is that it's nice to know what your love languages is.
Yeah.
Right. I'm glad that I know what I need. Right. I feel like we get so sucked into that. But like we really should learn what our significant others love languages. I feel like that should be the higher priority on that list.
Well, what happens is we get into relationships, and 3-4 years into the relationship, we realize it's not working.
Yes.
But it's because we are speaking 2 different languages, and we are going in opposite directions.
100%.
And so, for example, yours is acts of service. And if your partner doesn't know that, and they are quality time.
Sure.
So your acts of service, she's quality time. You guys will never intersect unless you've already explained that this is what I want.
100%. And I've played the middleman to a lot of my friends' relationships. Like I'm that guy. I like to help. I like to be there for them. And most issues really are just miscommunication.
Right.
So like he didn't do 1, 2, 3 for me.
Right.
And then he's saying she didn't have my back when I needed her to. And it's just like, it's a cycle
They're not speaking each other's language.
You guys are fighting basically over the same thing. Like
Right.
it's a constant revolution of problems.
He's not giving me what I want. She's not giving me what I want. But have you explained that to each other? Have you defined what problems there are, what may be?
Not even a little bit. And I see it firsthand. So I'll give you an example because we just had this conversation over the last week. We both have friends that are horrible with time.
Oh my!
Me and
God.
Mehdi are very structured people.
100%.
Right?
I'm on
is
time for everything.
You give me a time, I'm going to be there at that time. That's how it works. I like to know who's going, where we're going, what time we're going, plain and simple.
I'm on time for everything unless I don't want to be there, but go ahead.
Same. But I've almost lost my friendships over this. One of my best friends, late to everything.
Same.
I've learned, when I was younger, I fought him tooth and nail. 25 years of friendship, tooth and nail about, why are you late? How could you keep doing this? You know how I am. And then, via growth, you kind of remove yourself from the situation.
Right.
And say, how is he showing love?
Right.
And I found how he shows love.
Which
and
is
I've accepted it as it's not
random acts.
It's not random acts. I would say it's quality time.
Okay.
But it's not, I'm going to text you all day. It's when he's free. He texts me and he calls me and let's make plans. Let's do something. Let's go grab a bite. He randomly shows up at my work and we hang out. We go out to grab lunch. So but I don't need more. So at first I expected the standard of how I show love, which is I check up all the time. I text all the time. Yo, are you good? I haven't heard from you in a few days.
Okay.
And so when that's not reciprocated, everyone I feel like jumps into like this defense mode.
Right.
Of like, why aren't they doing it back for me? Once you realize that that's just not how they operate, accept how they operate for their affection of love.
So I don't know where this would fit, but I struggle to understand where people lack or how people lack, not where they lack, because I know where they lack.
Yeah.
Because we know I have friends who are not good with time.
Facts.
And that's an issue for me.
I agree.
So somebody being late, somebody not communicating properly, or somebody getting behind on things, that's an issue.
And I understand why it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Right? Wholeheartedly. But from what I've seen, if you can look at the good and the bad and say, there's so much good.
Yeah.
Just approach it differently for the bad.
Yeah.
Right? Like relationships, you're supposed to spend your life with someone. It's not all about how I feel. And I always tell you this, the way I live my life is a question of why.
Right.
Why is someone like this?
Right.
Why do they do these things? I have anxiety. I know I have anxiety.
Same.
So when I have a time or a structure, I cling to it for control to make sure my anxiety doesn't waver.
Right.
Other people don't have that.
Does your anxiety not shake when somebody is not doing what you expected them to do?
It does wholeheartedly, which is why when you change the expectation, no anxiety.
Okay.
So for instance,
Makes sense.
25 years of friendship with this person I was telling you about.
Jeez.
Like close friends, family friends, go back. What my question would be to you is like, what have I lost from him or me being late in the past? Have we not gone out? We were an hour late to dinner. Was it still not a great time?
Right.
Like, what did we lose? Nothing. I had a great time with him. So really, what am I so worked up about?
Right.
So to me, and I know this is like a very minuscule piece, but it's removing yourself from how you feel, that egocentric basis of how you feel. And
I guess that's where I struggle, though.
I feel like that's where everyone struggles.
I struggle because I look at relationships as I'm putting in this work. I need you to give me back what I'm giving.
Yeah.
I give you communication. I give you time. I am there when I say I'm going to be there.
For sure.
And if I'm late, you know.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you I'm running 5 minutes late, 10 minutes late, whatever it may be.
Agreed. Now you're telling me all the things you're great at. What are you not great at? You can't tell me.
That is rough.
That is rough. That's the hard part.
So,
but your significant other is going to have something to tell you that you're not great at, that you're not reciprocating to them properly. And I told you one time in the past, someone was like, you don't ask me how my day was. I don't care about someone asking me how my day was.
Right.
So I never thought to ask. If I don't expect it, I'm not going to assume that I should then do it until it's communicated and you remove your pride and your ego.
Absolutely.
You say, damn, man, do you need me to ask you how your day was? Hey, how's your day, bro?
Right.
Let me make that a habit because that's what love is.
Right. When it's verbalized.
Yes.
If it's not verbalized, how would you know? Right. So that's where I think a lot of relationships struggle because exactly. That's why I'm so big on communication. Tell me how you're feeling because I can't guess.
Yeah.
Pretty good at a lot of things, but I'm not good at reading minds.
I
can't read your mind. So I need you to vocalize or verbalize what you're feeling so that I can correct my actions. Because if you don't tell me, I'm not going to know.
I agree 100%.
I can do a lot of things for you. But
I can't do everything.
Right.
Your happiness in this relationship is not on me.
Depends on what you tell me.
So that's what everyone has to do the work. If you're unhappy in a relationship in life, you can't put that on your significant other and say, I'm unhappy, fix this.
Absolutely.
It doesn't work.
Absolutely.
I have to be happy. I have to work on my happiness. You have to be happy and then find a way to bring it together, intertwine, and live your life happily together.
Absolutely.
And I feel like no one does that.
Absolutely. No, they
I feel
don't.
like I'm in a relationship. My happiness is based on you.
Yeah.
Make me happy.
Yeah.
And that's toxic.
Doesn't work.
It's to me, it's toxic.
Yeah, it is.
I can't
toxic.
burden that for someone else.
It is. It is toxic. It is toxic. Now,
Toxic? Toxic.
super toxic. So you are second place, quality time. Third place, receiving gifts. Fourth place, words of affirmation. Last place, physical touch. What? I don't even have a sound effect for that, Ramsey.
I was waiting for it, I'll be honest with you.
But
Okay, you're a physical touch person, which is why that's crazy to you.
okay, so what's weird though, for me, physical touch is third for mine. I am number one, quality time. Get off your phone.
Get off your phone and tell me you love me. That's you.
Oh, God.
Get off
Shoot me a random text in the middle of the day. You will make my day. I will be a happy man.
What did I tell you during this week in
I'm pretty
text?
sure it's that simple.
What did I tell you this week during text?
What did you say?
You're like a dog waiting to be petted.
Come on. He's comparing me to a dog.
No, but like you love that love.
I
There's
love
nothing wrong with that. It's not an
attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your
Love language.
love language.
That is my love language.
Who's going to tell you that you're wrong? You can't be wrong.
But see, I don't know that it's just attention that I want. I do want everything else that comes with quality time.
Of course.
If I'm sitting with my friends, don't be on your phone. Don't be texting other people. Am I not? If you didn't want to be here, why are we here?
I agree. And
Get off your phone.
I feel like you yearn for interaction
Yeah.
and a connection, and which is natural and healthy and what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to see someone, just both of us sit on our phone and text for an hour and then be like, all right, thanks for having me. I'm going home.
Absolutely.
I gained nothing from that experience.
Absolutely.
So I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
So like you can't tell someone, I can't give you that time, even though now you're learning that they need it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give it to you.
Right.
If that's their love language, find a way. If you love them,
Find a way, or that's not your person.
I agree. Because when your person tells you, this is what I need, you better be ready to do it.
Right.
My belief is not my person's belief.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's yours.
Yeah. No, I mean, I had a female friend last night.
Yeah.
We were talking about love languages, and she said the man that I'm with, he works 9 to 9. He goes to sleep at midnight, and where do I fit?
What's her love language?
Quality time.
Oof, that's tough.
So I told her, either he fits you in, or he's not the one for you.
I agree.
It's very simple.
There's always a way.
Not simple.
I'm not saying it's simple. I agree. But you find a way.
Right.
And anyone that I love that has asked me of something, has asked me to do something,
Yeah.
I found a way.
Right.
Right? Like,
Right,
have you ever
right.
seen those memes that are like, people are too busy?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been too busy. I'm a busy person. I'm always trying to stay busy.
You're not too busy.
When I love someone
Mm-hmm.
and it's time for me to, I have to make time for this, I find a way.
Okay.
What would be your advice to like a couple struggling, going back and forth to each other, miscommunicating about a love language? What do you say?
My advice in relationships in general is communication is key.
Yes.
Understanding what the other person needs is key.
Yes.
And if you can't provide what that other person needs,
Step away.
sever the relationship.
Step away.
Take
Because
your losses.
It's not just about love. Love is not enough.
Take your losses and walk away.
Take your losses and walk away. And we're back.
And we are back.
We are.
What's going on?
Where were we?
I know that's right.
I know you know that's right. Relationships, 5 love languages.
Yes.
Tell me an experience of when, like an issue you had in a past relationship.
I think in any relationship, my issue has always been communication.
Of course.
So from any relationship has always been a communication issue, because I don't think people value communication as much as I do.
Same. I'm an over communicator.
Me too.
Same.
So I want to know what time you are going to be somewhere.
Yep.
What time you are going to do something. And I expect that your your delivery is going to be within that time frame.
For sure.
So if you tell me 15 minutes, I expect within the hour.
Of course. And
if you tell
we're
me
talking
tomorrow,
time, but we don't necessarily just mean time. Like how you feel needs to be communicated. Expectations need to be communicated.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's the biggest issue in relationships from my mediation, from my past relationships.
Absolutely.
I've learned that people give what they expect.
Absolutely.
So if I'm, and I'm not, but if I was a quality type person, and every day after work I say, Mehdi, I've got time to hang out. Let's go out to eat. Let's do whatever. Or in my relationship, I say, hey, babe, I'm coming over. I want to see you. To my partner, she might say, hey, Rams is needy. But if my language of love is quality time, I'm basically pouring my heart out to you.
Right.
But that person isn't a quality time person.
Right.
So they're not understanding what I'm doing.
Not on the same page.
You're not on the same page. Take a step back. Understand what the person's offering. And again, I'm not speaking about this with judgment. I made that mistake.
Right.
I saw things selfishly and completely different. I was like, oh, I'm an acts of service type.
Right.
So telling me you love me and making time for me to the person I may have been with at some point. To me, I just like, what's the point?
Right.
You're doing it too much. You're being needy.
Absolutely.
And it causes issues. I don't need to see you every day.
Absolutely.
Or if you're a touch, you always want my arm around you. Like, why are you doing that? I would then get distant because of it.
Right.
But that person's love language is how they were saying they love me. And as a partner, it's my responsibility to absorb that, understand that, and work through that.
So the success comes from
understanding
somebody else's love language.
Absolutely.
Because you can do as many things as you want. But until you understand your partner's love language,
yes,
you are never going to mesh with that person exactly.
100%.
So you could chase humans forever. But for as long as you're running in parallel, you are never going to intersect with one person.
Until it's communicated.
So once you communicate it, then you intersect properly.
Absolutely.
So my biggest thing, and that's it's not defined as part of these key characteristics, is communication.
Yeah.
My communication is prime. If you say one thing, I need you to do what you say.
Follow through.
Yes.
Absolutely.
In my mind.
Yeah.
But if you say, hey, I'll call you back in an hour.
Sure.
And you're here.
Yeah.
But I am anticipating that call in an hour, so I'm here because you never call back.
So
we never intersect.
To that person, it's not important. And to you, it's super important because you're a structured type of person.
Absolutely.
Now, a fight will result from that.
Absolutely.
And people will fight, relationships will fight over this topic, but not understand what they're fighting about. Remove ego.
Never.
Remove how you feel. Understand what that person is trying to convey.
Yes.
I tried hugging you last night and you weren't in the mood.
You pushed me away.
To me, I was just busy and stressed out at work, and I'm not a touchy type. So, I'm not in the mood for that. To that person, I basically just told them, F you.
Right.
Because they were trying to say, I love you, and I swerved.
Right. Because you're not speaking their language.
Those are relationships.
Absolutely.
You don't talk to a dog the same way you talk to a person.
Absolutely.
There's different ways.
You better not.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's different ways to deal with people. And I feel like so many people in so many relationships I've seen have that issue. And to me, like from the outside looking in, granted, I've been on the inside. I know it's not as easy.
Yeah.
But from the outside looking in, to me, now that I understand it, it's so obvious.
Absolutely.
Again, growing up, why didn't my dad say I love you?
Right.
Why didn't I get hugged more?
I think that's something most people deal with, right? Because as younger people, I don't want to see, and I do want to say it's a cultural thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So as a culture,
absolutely,
we have narrowed down to where we are. Our fathers are non-emotional and our mothers are. So where do we find a healthy medium?
100%.
Some men venture off into the same realms of their father.
Same.
Some people venture off into the realms of their mother, and some people find a healthy medium.
Agreed. So I would say I was more my father.
I would agree.
Me and you have been friends for a long time. You're very vocal about your love.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rams, I love you. What I used to send back to you, XOXO.
Yeah.
Almost always.
Never vocal.
XOXO.
Never vocal.
Hug, kiss, hug, kiss.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's super important for men, young Arab men, young people in our community, to discuss how you feel and to be able to say, I love you. I've learned. Say it. What am I robbing myself of to be able to now tell my family I love them, my cousins I love them, to tell you I love you, to tell Dina I love her? Like, there's no point not to.
I think in any given relationship, so whether it's personal, whether it's friendship-wise, whether it's sexual, whatever it might be, it is important to realize what that person needs.
Absolutely.
It's not always what you think.
The ego
you need
will ruin
this
you.
from me.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So ego is the enemy. That's another book that
Yes.
we will, I'm sure,
I'm down.
at some point
I'm down.
during this show get
We had
to.
this conversation last week.
Ego is the enemy.
What did I tell you? And again, just to reiterate what I said last episode, I'm kind of hard on my friends. No one judge me.
Oh,
I
you know
told
that's
you-
right.
I told you when we were having the conversation. Like, yo, your ego's taking over.
Yeah.
I know your friend's late. We were having that conversation with her.
Yep.
I know she's late. But you're
It was
so
a fight.
worried.
It wasn't even a conversation. It was a fight.
They were full-fledged fighting, by the way.
It was a fight.
You're so worried about how you feel and how her being late makes you feel. You have to take a step back and say, all right, do they think that, like, if you're late, is she going to care? No. And as long as you're, like, consistent on both ends, if you expect to be on time all the time, which is fair.
Always
But if then
on
you're
time.
late, that's hypocritical. That's
Right.
why I say there's a problem.
If I'm late,
If
there's
you're late,
something
but you
wrong.
expect, like, prompt timing, something's wrong, brother.
Right.
But if you're consistent and your partner just doesn't see things the same way,
Absolutely.
if you love them, find a way.
Absolutely.
It's not worth giving up on it because you guys can't communicate enough to understand where the middle ground is. That's partnership.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
None of my friends see things the exact way I do. I find a way.
Yeah.
I want them in my life. They do things for me. One of them talks too much. One of them doesn't talk enough. Screw it.
Acts of service.
See how I'm changing?
I know that's right.
See how I didn't cuss? I'm learning. I'm not cussing.
My
Screw
mom
it.
said, "Stop that."
All right, sorry, Tom. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm trying to be better.
I mean, the least we could do in any relationship. You've invested this time into a person, right?
Yes.
So you've learned this person. You've educated yourself on this person. You've understood who this person is, where they come from, who they are.
Yeah.
The least you can understand is what they want.
That's
What
like
you want. So
Yes.
what you so your predominant love language
Yes.
is acts of service.
But yes.
The least your partner can do is
Understand that.
understand that you need acts of service, even though she may need
Anything else. Whatever.
quality time.
Yes.
Whatever it might be.
I agree.
She gives you what you want.
And then in return, I speak her language.
In our society, that's not the case. So we look at relationships
Yes.
as a momentary thing. So we look at them like
Or a selfish thing. What can you do for me?
right.
You
Right.
clean my house.
Right. What
You
can you do
deliver
for me?
food for me. You
Absolutely.
tell me you love me day in and day out.
How's my laundry?
How's my laundry?
Exactly.
Grow up.
Yep.
Understand that woman has something that she needs. Or man has something that person needs, and you're not giving it to him.
Absolutely.
So I've just like a genuine belief in life, and I've told you this, and I said it during that fight.
Yep.
You cannot ever tell someone how they feel is wrong.
I like how you're discreetly asking for attention.
I'm not discreetly asking for it. I'm getting it. Let them know.
I don't ask.
I'm being for real though. Dead ass.
Yeah.
You can't tell someone like right now. Let's say you press a button
Yeah.
and it pisses me off.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you think it's right or wrong. What you think doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
I'm allowed to be angry or upset about something you did, no matter how small or big.
In a relationship.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
have
Of
to
course.
understand.
Yes,
I have to understand.
because
Now-
you're a partnership.
Yep.
If you want to be that person's partner, that's what partnership means. Remove your ego. Remove your ego. Understand that how you feel matters. And I'm like that even in my friendships. Even if I feel what I've done isn't wrong,
Yeah.
which you're allowed to do because that's my feeling.
Right.
If I know it bugged you, my ego is not so big that I say, F it. I don't care if it hurt Mahdi.
Right.
It wasn't
Right,
wrong.
right,
I'm
right,
not that egotistical of a person.
Same. Take a step back and realize where you went wrong.
That's it. Hey, my bad that I didn't answer your call. I'll call you back in 10 minutes. My fault.
Right.
Next time I'll try to do better by you.
For me, timelines are of the essence.
Yeah.
But when it comes to love language, there are certain people who desire that you vocalize and verbalize how you feel,
For sure.
right?
Yeah.
And in that same sense, my parents, I have always heard the terms "I love you" I care about you. I this, I that. More so, like I said at the beginning of the show, more so from my mother than I did from my father.
Which is probably normal.
Right? So I am okay with verbalizing that I love you or I feel something.
Yeah.
But I may not like it, but I will verbalize it. For you,
it's the opposite.
Yeah.
I never got it. Love was shown.
Mm-hmm.
So like I've always said this to like friends of mine, I have like a secret power, a superpower.
Yeah.
I get away with things I shouldn't get away with.
Yeah.
Like jokes I make, how I act, the dickish things I do. But there's a reason that I've learned through like thinking about it. Why do I get away with those things? Because I'm there when you need me.
Right.
I do show love.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Your brother. We had this conversation before. Where
We're looking at Dina.
We're looking at Dina. Shout out Dina Schumann. The Rams. No matter where we are, no matter who we're with, no matter what's happening, I'm going to get the same Rams every time.
Right.
So even when I'm tough on you, there's a reason. Most people might not be able to handle it.
Right.
Why could you handle it when I was tough on you? You know it's out of love. You know I'm there for you. So to me, like when you over communicate things, you get granted a certain level of like freedom.
Right.
Be yourself.
Right.
Because you always do right by me.
Open up.
And I feel like in relationships, that gets taken away because you're so defensive.
Absolutely. You're blocking off the parts of you that you think somebody else could take advantage of.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I've done it.
Me too.
I've seen it done.
And like I said, this is not a judgment from both of us. It's out of experience.
Personal experience, right.
Yes. We failed at these things. I've been toxic. I'll tell you right now, I've been the most toxic Dearborn dude on the planet. I was that guy. Don't wear that when you go out.
Right.
Don't do this.
Right.
Listen, brother, I'm not dating an ugly woman. Wherever I go, wherever she goes, a guy's going to try to hit on her. If you're not comfortable enough to understand that your man's probably or your girl's going to get hit on at some point,
bragging rights.
let it go.
I know, that's right.
I don't even want to go that toxic. Bragging rights. That's my woman. She's pretty. People are going to hit on her. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's going to handle it.
You know what you're getting into.
100%. She's been handling herself since before she was with me. So why all of a sudden now that I'm involved, she doesn't know how to handle herself?
Right.
Nah, bro. Let her do her thing.
That's all you.
That's it.
Not you in the sense of.
She needs to be happy. You need to be happy.
Absolutely.
Find a way to be happy together. But if either one of you are relying on the other person for happiness, your foundation is set for disaster.
So in what way have you seen relationships fail? Same question you asked me.
Oh man. The easiest, which has happened pretty recently, is when you're dealing with, and I don't want to say stubborn because I feel like that's a judgmental word. When you're dealing with people that are genuinely believe what they feel is right, whether or not it's deep, it's not horrible things. There's usually very surface level type things that's just like you're not responding to my text in a timely manner. You're not present. On the flip side, that person's like, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for you. I feel like I am present. But when both of them don't realize that they're speaking a different language, right? And I'm not using the term language because of the book, but genuinely a different language. You're fighting about the same thing. And the relationship's ending over it.
So do you think it's because you don't vocalize where you are mentally? Or
you don't know. Hold on. I'll go a step further. They don't know where they're at mentally.
Where do you fall short?
Where I fall short is
because I can tell you.
All right, let's hear it.
No, you tell me.
I want to hear it because I want to feed on it.
Okay.
With no judgment. Genuinely. Feel free to speak. Where do you think I fall short?
Emotionally, you fall short.
I do. I was going to say something similar.
So I was raised with all girls.
Yeah.
I have 4 sisters. I have my mother.
Yeah.
And my father's always been working. He's a working man. So I was always raised around people who were highly emotional. Of course. And vocalizing and paying attention to emotions is very important.
Yeah.
To females.
Yeah.
Where I've recognized your shortcomings is female emotions.
Yep.
They need to hear it.
I agree.
They need to see it. And you fall short on the
reassurance, I agree.
Words of affirmation.
So which is why I can now, after 10 years of work, tell you, Mehdi, I love you. I've never been able to say that.
Yeah.
Because I learned that sometimes it's not about what you believe. It doesn't
matter. It's what
matter.
the other person needs. Because I said this, so I said I love you years ago to you.
So many years ago.
And I meant it.
I know.
And I knew you did. And I knew you felt the same. I knew
Yes.
I knew you had a mutual feeling.
I did.
But it wasn't until recently where you said it. And in that moment when you said it, I needed it.
Your eyes got big, by the way. I said it, and you're like,
I needed it as a friend.
Yeah.
I needed that mutuality.
Which I didn't know at the time. I said it because now I was in a mental space to be able to say
So
it.
words of affirmations up there for me.
Yes, I believe
I needed that from you in a friendship capacity.
Yeah.
So when you gave it to me, I said,
you literally made that face.
You're
you're telling me you love me? I was like, yes.
You are not allowed to say that.
I would say it maybe twice a year of my life. And people I would say it to those 2 times, their faces, their jaws would drop.
Absolutely.
But now, like I said, love language isn't just for me. Remove your ego. That's my friend. If he needs to know that I love him or her, why am I so proud or deep in my beliefs that I can't give it to him? What am I robbing myself by saying I love you? Yo, tell people you love them. Life is finite.
That is a community issue. That is a community issue.
I agree.
We refrain from saying it because we think we are stronger men.
I agree.
By refraining from that phrase, I love you, or I care about you, we think we are stronger because of it.
Yeah. It's weakness to tell someone you love them.
It is weakness, and my father taught me that. My father said, a man who refrains from his tears, from his emotions, is a weaker man than a man who is able to acknowledge that he has these emotions.
Yo, shout out your dad for showing you, or for teaching you that.
Love that, man.
Genuinely. Because for me, my dad never discussed it, but I always thought like my dad's a pinnacle.
You're much like your father.
I am.
Where he is quiet on the emotions, much on the actions.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've gotten a lot of my mom in the empathetic side.
Yep.
And the understanding people. My mom's a very why-driven person. Why did this person do it? And we have long talks.
Me too, yeah.
So for me, once I started getting that and using it, I realized that I can't be that empathetic and still act on rationale all the time. I may not agree. I may not feel like I have to tell you I love you. I don't feel like I have to. I don't, like me personally, because of where I came from. I don't feel like I have to. But if it can do you good as my friend and reaffirm our friendship,
I'll give it to you.
I'm going to.
Right.
For what? Why wouldn't I rob you of that?
If the same way, sleep,
if I tell you, Mehdi, like I'm tired, I need you to have my back on something, or I call my girl, I'm starving, and she gets me food, right? Would I why would she not do it?
Absolutely.
So just because it's words, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to refrain?
Right.
Love is love. Love is love. Show love. But even in a friendship,
right,
with your parents, with your sister, with your cousins, with whoever. As my family, the last year, I probably told them more I love them than ever before.
I've realized it. I realized it. I feel like you've been more open, but that's something I feel more men need to recognize.
Because they have to remove the ego. When a man says, I'm in the relationship, and a girl makes me feel 1, 2, 3, this is what I need her to do. You can't make me feel this way. You can't make me feel bad. Right. If I tell you, if a girl vocalizes, which we've seen a lot in our community, vocalizes a shortcoming of a man, what's the typical response?
Typical is shy away.
Shy away and flip it back on the girl.
Right.
Oh, I cheated because you did 1, 2, 3.
Which is not her fault.
It's not her fault.
It's not her fault.
So I hate this term, but I'm going to use it because I feel like it fits properly. That's toxic masculinity. Especially in our community as Arab men. Listen, you do not own your wife. Those are the facts. What she wears is not your responsibility.
Those are the facts.
That is facts.
So where you fall is if you fall in that category where you're shutting her down.
Yes.
Or she's shutting him down.
Either or.
It's toxic.
It's toxic. Accepting of toxicity is also toxic.
Absolutely.
So
you know it's there.
Yes. And you keep dealing with it over and over and over.
Fix it or move on.
Yes. You may not be the starter of the toxicity. You may not be doing the action. But by accepting it, you're then toxic.
You are a willing participant.
100%. At 31, if I get a hint of toxic, which I have more so recently, I literally stepped away so quick. I'm a grown-ass man. You're not cussing at me. You're not yelling at me.
Absolutely.
Because I'm not doing that.
Absolutely. In episodes to come, we will discuss toxic, manipulative, and
I'm excited for that episode.
Relationships. It's coming up,
especially in this community.
Unfortunately, and I've lived in multiple communities.
Yeah,
it is very, very unfortunate that it is so predominant around here.
But do you know why?
You are dating you are dating and marrying people of your culture.
100%.
It would only make sense to me that you could meet them or try to meet them on the same page.
All right, let me ask you this. I agree.
To me.
Yes.
It would make sense to me that you would try to.
And to me.
Attempt to meet them on the same page.
100%.
It is far too common that we are not.
And it's so easy.
We're not there.
But you know why?
We're not
Who's the head of the household?
In whose house?
No. The head of the household.
The man.
By gender roles, by gender definition.
Male.
Which is stupid. Listen, I'll tell my woman, trust me to handle things so I can lead us into
But you're taking on that gender role, though.
No. In those situations. And I will trust you to also lead us into success and health and happiness in other ways.
Okay.
It is in the middle. It doesn't have to be where, like, I'm in charge of everything and you're in charge of something else. When it's my turn to step up, I'm good at 1, 2, 3. I'll take over.
You handle
I'm a
this.
confrontational person. When things come up, when someone disrespects you, I'll take care of it.
So for you, it's I will handle this. You handle acts of service.
Yes.
For me, it is we are mutually because of quality time.
Yes.
I want you available when I need you available.
Yes.
I need you to communicate when I need you to communicate.
Absolutely.
And that's my love language.
Even our examples are different. Do you understand? Like, we're talking about the same thing, and our examples are so different because how we view love is different.
I feel as though at the end of the day, the relationship ends the same.
It does.
Because we still are reading and eating each other's
energy
words.
And believes. And
absolutely.
Beliefs. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So if I speak yours and you speak mine, not literally, but if my partner speaks mine and I speak theirs.
Bet me there's nothing you don't overcome.
There is harmony.
If there's no cheating and there's no betrayal and there's genuine respect for the relationship, if you get on the same page with your love languages, find me something that can get in the way.
Absolutely.
When you over communicate, find me something that gets in the way. So I have a genuine belief. This is like a pet peeve of mine. I don't want to hear something from someone else.
Right.
There's no way.
I want to hear from you.
If me and my girl are together, we're solid, we're whole. There's nothing in the world I should be hearing from anyone else that I don't know from you. Hey, babe, I went out with the girls' night last night. My ex came up, and I'm not being toxic. I'm just using this as an example. My ex came up, he said hi to me.
Yeah.
Bet. Do you think? I don't care. I don't care. I trust you. Handle it.
Tell me.
But if someone else tells me, I'm now on the defensive. So
that couldn't have happened.
Even if it could have, why didn't I know?
In that moment.
Yeah.
When somebody tells you, no way.
Yeah, or I play it off. No, I know.
I'll ask her. The story must be wrong.
Oh, I'm toxic. I'll lie. No, she told me.
Absolutely.
Bitch, why didn't you tell me?
Oh, that's
why? Well, I did not know about
Pizza passive.
But on the flip side, because I'm consistent, I'll do the same for her.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let someone tell you something about me you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm in this with you.
Absolutely.
So, there's so many factors of a relationship where issues can crawl in. And to me, it's just keep it airtight.
Absolutely.
Talk their language and water the trust.
Understand
trust is not given, it's earned. Earn it.
It's not earned.
Even if it's not, it is earned.
Yeah,
it is earned. I get what you meant. Why wouldn't even if a conversation's hard, have it, because when it comes from you can
the most difficult of conversations.
What are you, new?
Newbie. I was trying to ignore it, but you just acknowledge that shit.
It's the director. She can do what she wants. My bad.
So sometimes conversations are difficult to have with your partner.
Of course.
You don't want to have those difficult conversations to discuss those things that you feel so deeply because you're like, am I being annoying? Am I being overbearing? Am I imposing?
Yes.
But you're not.
How you feel matters.
You're not
as
imposing.
A woman, how you feel matters.
Recognize.
And as a guy, maybe because I'm passionate about this, because men are worse at understanding this part.
And communicating.
How your girl feels matters. How your girl feels matters. And how you feel matters.
Recognize
it. Understand it, accept it, and realize that that's not an attack on your masculinity.
And when somebody tells you that this is how I'm feeling, acknowledge and fix, or acknowledge and move on.
If you can't do what they're asking, walk away.
Stop wasting their time.
This isn't it.
Our community, and I am sure, it is not limited to our community.
Sure.
Stop wasting people's time.
They don't know they're doing it.
But recognize
I agree.
Your partner is speaking one language.
Yep.
You are speaking another, and you are not willing to intersect.
Yes.
Acknowledge the fact that you are on different pages
And move
and
forward.
walk away
Yes.
or fix.
I agree. I think this is back to what we've been saying. The ego of each person will ruin a relationship.
Yeah,
You're
absolutely.
my partner. Screw my ego. Screw it.
Absolutely.
My
Absolutely.
ego doesn't matter. If I'm
Abandon what you've known.
that's it. Even if it
Abandon.
worked in your last relationship, there's a reason your last relationship
Didn't work out.
is your last relationship.
That's right. That's right.
So
that's right.
Make peace with it. Understand you have to step up to your partner's needs, wants, attentions, whatever it is,
Absolutely.
and give it to them.
Absolutely.
It's not that hard. That's. I feel like that's our conclusion. That's our advice. How they feel is not wrong. I've had friends that were in a relationship with someone and realized after a year, we are more friendly than we are romantic.
Yep.
They've
Step back.
stepped away together and remained friends. Respect. The longer you prolong the relationship, it's inevitable that it will fall apart disastrously. Is that a word? That's not a word.
It is because you just made it up.
In a disastrous manner.
It is because you just, you know
I
what?
appreciate you having my back.
You make up whatever you want.
That's an act of service.
Don't let anybody.
It's an act of service. You supported me like that.
Listen, the relationship is what you make of it.
Yeah.
And if you cannot, you cannot maintain a friendship in a person who used to be in a relationship with you, step back completely. Let that person go.
We might have a difference of opinion there. I don't
Why
think
is
you
that?
could be friends with someone you used to date.
That's why I said step all the way back.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Step
I
all
don't
the
think
way
it
back.
ever works.
Step out.
Yeah, I agree.
I maybe step back was not the proper choice of words.
Yeah.
But step out
Get out of that.
of that realm
100%.
because it is no longer yours
You're doing harm to yourself, sticking yourself to a situation that's not working for you.
and to the partner.
Let me ask you this.
You are doing more harm to the partner than you are to yourself
100%.
because you are dragging them along.
Yes.
You are feeding into your own ego.
Facts.
And if you are dragging them along, they think everything is going to end up okay, and it is not.
Let me ask you this. I know we're both single men, right? Neither of us are married. We're not married,
Right.
right? We're single men.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. So when a relationship works, and I've seen it firsthand through my friends and through experiences of my own, it just works.
Yeah.
There shouldn't have to be a crazy barrier of a battle to get on the same page. Now, I, at 31, can say I've learned and can understand and can listen and can adjust. But, like, it shouldn't be a battle day in and day out. And if it is, it doesn't matter how much you love someone. Be willing to walk away. It's not good for you. Understand your value. A battle every day is toxic.
In our community and in other communities, because I'm sure it's not just ours.
Yeah.
Communication, Ramsey.
I agree. It all comes back to that.
It is the epitome of every relationship.
Every man is afraid to communicate. Women over-communicate. Men don't know
Bro,
how to receive it, and men don't know how to reciprocate.
If we communicated better in all of our relationships,
agree.
if we told our partners what we were thinking and how we were feeling,
Yes.
what we demand of a relationship and what we declare is the problem,
Yeah,
relationships would be fine.
I agree.
But we refuse as men because we are so powerful. Me, man, you, woman.
Yeah.
I know
I'm
you
in
don't.
charge. How I feel is more important. Yes.
Then we don't recognize or we don't confirm that our shortcomings come from.
You got to acknowledge your shortcomings.
You have to acknowledge that your shortcomings are coming from communication because your communication is key.
I agree.
And if you are not communicating, your partner doesn't know what you want. So at the end of the day, your arguments are centered around what you as a man are lacking.
Yes.
Because she doesn't know.
Because she doesn't know.
You need to tell your partner.
But pause. When you tell her or when you tell him, you have to also acknowledge your own shortcomings.
Your own shortcomings, because they can't feel like I'm falling short.
I know that I fall short emotionally, and I haven't given you the space to express yourself, but this is what I'm seeing from you, and if you need me to then step up, we can discuss that.
Absolutely.
But my bad, but this is who I am right now.
This is the page we're
and
on.
this is how I feel you're handling it incorrectly.
Absolutely.
Then you come to an agreement that works. Anything anything shorter than that is a disservice to the relationship.
Absolutely.
That's facts.
And
it's not easy. We're making it sound easy because we're talking theoretically. It's not easy. These conversations are not easy to have.
Been there, done that.
So the moral of the story is invite us to your weddings. We will come.
I'll come sometimes.
We've been to a few weddings together. We've had a good ass time.
It was pretty fun.
We should have people on this episode, which we are going to do. We have guests lined up. But we should have a couple, an ex-couple, a guy, a girl, different times. Discuss. I'm not saying at the same time. Not at the same time. But like get their perspective. Because I feel like this is a conversation that can go on forever.
Yeah, so absolutely.
We're wrapping up. This is what they won't say. Go ahead. This is you.
Thank you so much for doing this.
You already know.
Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment what you'd like to see on future episodes. My name is Mahdi.
This is Ramsey.
And this
is what they won't say.
I know that's right.
By the way, I love you.